Hello everyone, welcome to Dheeraj Academy. I am here, Manisha, your maths buddy, always be available to help you. And today we will study about the zeros of a polynomial. Yeah, so first we will see what is the polynomial. So, polynomial is an algebraic expression in which the powers of x are the whole numbers. Hmm? What is the whole number? So whole numbers are the counting numbers, positive counting numbers. Hmm? So the polynomial should always have the powers as the whole numbers. It should not be what? Negative exponent. Yeah. It should not contain the fractional exponent or the power. Power or exponent both are the same thing. Yeah. And we know that the polynomials in one variable, that means the variable should be only of one type. It can be x, y or a, b, c, anything. Yeah, the general format of the polynomial is this one. So here a is the coefficient and x is the variable and c is the constant. Yeah. So like we can see that x square plus 3x plus 2. So here my exponent of power is plus 2. Here there is no power, it means it has the power 1. Hence this is a polynomial. Yeah. 2x plus 5, so x power is 1. So it's also a polynomial. 7 is a constant. So here the power is your 0. So the whole number starts with 0. Hence this is also a polynomial. Yeah. Why it is a polynomial? Because x to the power 0 is equal to 1. So 7 times 1 is your 7. Hmm? If I have in this way, suppose I have anything like this way, 2 over x square plus x plus 5. Is it a polynomial? No, it's not a polynomial because 2 over x square, it means your the 1 over x square means x to the power negative 2. Yeah. So when we have the negative exponent, that our expression is not a polynomial. Yeah. And if we have the fractional exponents, means like I have the 2x square plus 5 root x plus 3. Yeah. So this is also not a polynomial because root x means your x to the power half. Yeah. Hence this is also not a polynomial because exponent of power is in the fraction. Now we will learn about the degree of polynomial. So what is the degree? Degree is the highest power of x. Hmm? So suppose I have the polynomial this 2x plus 1. So here the power of variable is 1. So that's why its degree is 1. And when the degree is 1 for the polynomial, we call it as the linear polynomial. And when we have the degree 2, we call it as the quadratic polynomial. Yeah. And when there is a degree 3, then we call it as the cubic polynomial. And after that, we call it as the order like the 4th degree, yeah, 5 degree polynomial in this way. So this degrees, basically what is the need of this degree? Why we find out the degrees? Because this degree help us to determine the maximum number of zeros a polynomial can have. What is the zeros? Zeros is the actually the value of the variables which satisfies our equation. Hmm? So to find the value, we substitute the value of x. Hmm? Like the px, this is the one of the expression that x6 square plus 2x plus 1. So when we substitute this value of x with 1, it will give us the 4. Yeah. So this idea, that is the using of the factor theorem, is used to check the zeros. Yeah. Whether that number is a zero of that polynomial or not. So suppose we are letting that the number k is a zero of a polynomial px. When it will be the zero of a polynomial? When your pk is equal to 0. Yeah. So in the last example, that p1 is not equal to 0. In that case, you can see here that this p1 is not equal to 0 here. Yeah. That means this 1 is not a 0 of the 0 of your px. Yeah. So this help us to find out the 0. Hmm? When this becomes 0, it means that it is the zeros of that polynomial. So 0 we can call it by the other names also, like the roots, or we can say the solutions of the equation or roots of the equation. Yeah. And when we have to find the zeros of a polynomial by graphically, if we find it graphically, then the zeros are the points where the graph cuts the x-axis. Yeah. So at 0, y is equal to always 0. This 0 is means your the roots or the solutions of the equation, and this is the 0 value. So 0 is equal to x-intercept. So when we find graphically, the x-intercept give us the zeros of the polynomial. So this is the linear polynomial. What is a linear polynomial? When we have the degree 1. Yeah. So here you can see that px equals to x plus 5. So if we check it, that p negative 5 is equal to 0, that means 0 of this polynomial is negative 5. So for the values for which the given polynomial's value becomes 0, that value we call it as the 0 of the polynomial. Linear polynomial has the degree 1, so it has only 1 0. As it has the degree 1, so it can have the maximum of 1 0. Quadratic polynomial. So in the quadratic polynomial, what is the degree? Degree is our 2. Yeah. So if it has the degree 2, that means it can have the maximum of 2 zeros. So our equation is the x6 square minus 4. So if we take it as the p2 equals to also 0 and p negative 2 also equals to 0. So hence its zeros will be your 2 and negative 2. As it is a quadratic polynomial, so it can have the maximum of 2 zeros. Maybe it's possible that it can have the 1 0 also, but maximum it can have the 2 zeros. Now we will learn about the how to find the graphically the zeros of the linear polynomial. Yeah. So this is the equation y equals to 2x plus 3. You can see in the graph that this is your the y equals to 2x plus 3. So how will we find the here the zeros? So first we will see that how the graph looks. The graph is straight line slanting upwards. Yeah. And it cuts the x-axis at only one point. So you can see that this point it is cutting. Yeah. So what is the value of this coordinate where this graph cuts the x-axis? Yeah. So the value is your the negative 3 over 2 comma 0. Yeah. So this is the coordinate of the point where where the graph cuts the x-axis. Yeah. And as it is a linear polynomial, so there it will be having the 1 0 only. Yeah. And the 0 will be the coordinate of the point which cuts the x-axis. So 0 will be equal to negative 3 over 2. As it has the one intersection, so 1 0 only. So linear polynomial has exactly 1 0. Now we will see the quadratic polynomial. So example is our the x6 square minus 3x minus 4. Yeah. So how it looks its graph? It is your the U-shaped curve which is parabola. And at how many points it is cutting at x-axis? You can see that it cuts the x-axis at the 2 points. This is the 1 point and this is your the second point. Yeah. As it is intersecting at 2 points and the points are the negative 1 comma 0 and the 4 comma 0. As it has the two intersections, so it has the two zeros and zeros will be negative 1 and 4. I hope you understand this properly, that how to find the zeros graphically. So the graph, when they intersect the x-axis at as many points, that many will be having the zeros of the polynomial. Yeah. So this is of the quadratic polynomial case 2. Yeah. Here we have only 1 0. From the graph you can see that it is intersecting at only 1 point. Yeah. So this graph is also the U-shaped curve having the parabola, but it is touching the x-axis at only 1 point, that is the 0 comma 0. Yeah. And no other intersection with the x-axis. So it has only 1 0 and the 0 is your the 0 because it is intersecting at the origin. So it can have the as it is a quadratic polynomial, it can have the maximum of two zeros, but in this case we have only 1 0. And this is the case 3 where we don't have any zeros for this quadratic polynomial. Yeah. So you can see here that y equals to x6 square plus 1. Yeah. So how the graph looks here? The graph looks like the parabola. Yeah. And the entire graph you can see it is above the x-axis. So it is not intersecting the x-axis, hence it has no real zeros. Now we will see the cubic polynomial. In cubic polynomial, we have the degree 3. Yeah. So it can have the maximum of 3 zeros. Let's see that in this graph, it intersecting at x-axis how many times? It is your the x-shaped curve which is crossing the x-axis at the 3 different points. So how many points? At 3 different points. So it cuts the x-axis at 3 points, hence it has the 3 zeros. Which 3 points it is intersecting? Minus 2 0, 0 0 and 2 0. So the zeros will be the always the x coordinate. So zeros are the negative 2, 0 and 2. Now we will see the graph of the cubic polynomial case 2. Yeah. What is it? Here we have the equation y equals to x cube, but you can see that here the graph is intersecting at the x-axis at 1 point only. So that means it has the only 1 0. That is x equals to 0. As the graph is passing through the origin, so it has only the one solution or 1 0. So we have seen the different cases of the linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial and cubic polynomial. Yeah. So the polynomial has the format of ax to the power n, bx to the power n minus 1 and so on, and at last we have the constant. That means decreasing powers of the variable. Hmm? And degree is the highest power of x, which help us to determine the number of zeros a polynomial can have the at most. Yeah. So this is about the zeros of the polynomial. I hope you have understood it in the better way and I helped you to in the understanding of the zeros of the polynomial. If you like it, then please subscribe it and please watch the video thoroughly so that you can have the better understanding. And thank you. So please watch this video and subscribe to the Dheeraj Academy. And for the demo, you can register through this link below it. And thank you very much for watching this video.